Morning, everybody. Welcome to our service. Today is our Mission Sunday. Bit echoey, bring it back a little bit. Our Mission Sunday. And we've got Carly and Astrid. They're sitting back there, third back row. Third or fourth back row. And both of them are PCWs, pastoral care workers, in the two schools that Freely has an association with as part of their ministry. Going to be telling us a bit later on what their work involves. And it's also, as I've got up there, building a safe church, we have at least one service in which we focus on being a safe community, a safe church for children, but all vulnerable people. So today we thought we'd put those two together. They fit very comfortably together. Now, as part of our response to the work in the schools, there will be a retiring offering, and there are two tins out in the foyer. And if you want to add anything, offering for this, you're more than welcome to. I think for the moment, oldies. That is safe. Okay. You do. If it's now, makes a you know them. Okay. messy. That she said to make grandma. Over here. That's for all these. Unsafe. Nobody can trip over. What shape? No. Does that mean you don't? Okay, occasionally. Dogs. Yeah. Okay, you guys are the shepherds. You got any sheepdogs? Who's got a sheepdog? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Okay, I got a dog, but mine's not a sheepdog. That's my new. And I don't think she's going to be a sheepdog. She's not big enough. She's only about that big, and she's not going to get much bigger. Is not a bad sheepdog, is he? Sorry? He went so much far. He was the best thing for the shepherd. Okay, now, when Jesus said, I'm the good shepherd, what did he mean? Apart from the fact that he said he's going to care for us, when he described himself as a shepherd, it meant he was a leader. Who are the sheep? I am Jesus' little lamb. Yeah, the people. Okay, if Jesus is the shepherd and you guys are the sheep, who's the sheepdog? Who's the sheepdog? Who helps the shepherd? Jesus is the shepherd. Yeah, Jesus is the shepherd that God sent to look after us. Who are the sheepdogs? No. We got sheepdogs in this place, you know. Who are the sheepdogs? Hey, wait a second. Hey, Glenda, where are you? You want to stand? Where's David? He's not. I better. Lockie. Where's Lockie? You guys stand up and have a look. Who else is there? Where's Tina? Okay, you better stand up. So now on the chair so we can see you. Okay. Okay, guess what? They're the sheepdogs. They're the sheepdogs. They're the ones who do the work that Jesus gives them to look after you, to make sure you don't get out of line and that you're looked after and you're cared for. Now, forget all that about the sheepdogs and the shepherds. There's something else Jesus said about caring for us, and he says, yeah, they're all yours. Yep, go for it. Oh, wait a second. Guess what? One each.
Welcome everybody, and welcome to Astrid and Carly and Astrid. They're our pastoral support workers that we have at local primary schools, and we're just going to have a little interview with them to talk about what they do. Now, they're both employed by the Schools Ministry Group, that's correct? Yep, and Schools Ministry Group believes in a holistic approach to student wellbeing, and as being the best way to work with students, families and staff to achieve lifelong positive results, and that their roles are to assist school communities to build sustainable outcomes for the students over the course of their education. So it's, I know when we had our initial chats with the families and parents over in Freedom Primary School, the biggest problem we were up against when we talked about having back in the days a chaplain was that we were going to Bible bash the kids, and I don't want my kids hearing that stuff. That's not what it's about, I believe. We are to be the hands and feet of Jesus, show love, show care, and as we say, have a holistic approach to help kids be a bit more resilient and get through life with the skills to help them once they leave school. So I'm going to hand over to the girls now. If you'd like to tell us what schools you work with and how many hours a week or a day you do.
So I am at Worsley's Primary School, and I am there 2 days as pastoral care worker, so I work 13 hours a week, and they have recently employed me for more hours as SSO as well.
Fantastic.
I'm at Roseworthy Primary School, and I work there on Tuesdays Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Okay, and do you have set tasks to do, or do you have, is it different? Tell us about a typical day and then a not so typical day. Carla, what do you?
So a typical day for a pastoral care worker, particularly for me, I do a lot of floating in and out of classrooms. I am there for wellbeing support, so if any child is having a bit of a rocky day, it's up to me to then sit with them and help them through any moments that might be more challenging. And I really enjoy doing that. So yeah, I'm also out in the schoolyard. I also do a bit of breakfast club as well, and we just any way to connect with the kids.
Yeah, that's very good. And what about the parents? Do you connect with the parents as well?
I do, a little bit more naturally because I am also a parent at the school. So drop-offs and pickups, I'm one of them as well. So it is a natural way to connect with parents.
Yeah, so you're quite relatable then, aren't you? So what about you then, Astrid?
I don't think there's ever a typical day. I don't think I ever have a set routine ever. I think mainly I do a lot of one-on-ones. Go around I have a rotation of kids that I just work through. So I do try and get across the whole school because we've got a fair few kids. Fortunately, we have some amazing staff at Roseworthy that also do SSOs that do similar stuff as me. Otherwise, I could not cover all the kids that we have. I do a lot of pastoral support like Carly, trying to get to know the kids as well, because it's not easy just talking to someone if you don't know them, and no one wants to talk to someone they actually don't know. So yeah, I just try and get to know them, do classroom, yard. As the parents, I generally have parents asking me to see their kids, and that's generally when I talk to them, is I talk to them over the phone after I've talked to their children and just put their minds at ease.
That's really
they're
good.
stressed about something.
I think, years ago people used to live locally. You'd have many generations would be living nearby each other, which around here quite a lot of us have, but there's a lot that don't have that. And you've lost your grandma or your auntie or someone who will be there to be that backup for you as a parent, I think. And so it's really handy to have your people there. What about any special activities? Do you organise any specific special activities to benefit the children or the staff or the parents even? Astrid, what about you?
I've started running Komochis this year with the kids in the lower primary section. Mainly my one-on-ones. We're trialling it. I've talked to our principal. We're trialling it, seeing how it works. We already have the resources at the school, so we thought we'd just try and expand it.
Can you explain a little bit? I don't know if people here know what Komochis are.
Komochis is basically, it's an emotional coaching tool done through basically soft toys, but little characters, and each character has its own problem and issue, and you use the character to relate to the child. So it's like they have that issue, and then they relate to the character. Or we have these little feelings pillows, and they've got all different facial expressions. It's really great for children who struggle with expressing their emotions, because they can see the emotion on the little character's face, and they can be, that's the one I am. Which I had some really good conversations with a reception who did not understand the words at all on the back of the feelings pillow, but they did understand the expressions and could express themselves that way. Which also then led on to a great conversation with her mother, who's now put in extra things at home for them, which is good.
That's fantastic.
I've also used Komochis, which has been a fantastic stepping stone, and what has kind of snowballed from that is our school has a great sense of wanting to show our gratitude to each other. So a lot of the time the teachers are now using the language, and we're still teaching the kids about hope and that type of thing. So it's a really nice way of teaching them about things without teaching them about things.
Yeah, it's a bit like you're allowed to be angry, but just because you're angry, you don't go and throw things and smash things. It's because I'm angry, and you can show somebody that I'm angry. Otherwise, kids act it out a little bit, don't they? Yeah. How does the daily work that you do connect back to the broader vision
think just being there for people. Like, it's not all about being like the big pinnacle of everything. Like the people that are like bringing in massive amounts of people to Christ. It's not about that. Sometimes it is about that child who's just struggling, who doesn't know who to talk to, who actually has no one to talk to, and sometimes the staff are the only safe people that they have at the school. But staff are very busy and don't always have that time. So it's great to have that person there that they can actually just talk to. And it's about laying the building blocks rather than building the whole house. Like, everyone has a part, everyone has their job to do. And sometimes it is just putting that one brick in place for future. And you may do nothing at that time, and it may seem like you've had no impact whatsoever. But I think it's about maybe in 20 years' time they'll remember that one person that said something to them.
Yeah, I think that's good, because I think, people here, do you find that yourself? Can you look back at your childhood throughout your life maybe, and there is somebody who had said something to you that's had quite a good impact on you? I think we could probably all, if we thought about it, come up with an idea of something where someone's had a positive impact. What about you, Carly? I'll ask you another one. This one. What sustains you spiritually and emotionally when you're dealing with heavy or difficult situations in your role?
So going to church and praying and reading the Bible, and then just constantly connecting yourself back, because sometimes it is really hard, and sometimes it is really challenging to know that not every child comes from a safe and loving background, and that can be really, really confronting. So just taking yourself back to that moment where you have that moment with God, to redirect yourself, to realise that there is a bigger purpose for ourselves, so that you have that encouragement to keep moving forward.
No, that's good. And also, I feel like you were saying, you've got to remind yourself that I'm not the one to do everything. One little brick is the role that I have, which is really good. Is there anything that about being a pastoral care worker that might surprise people who are not involved in that field?
We're not Bible bashing.
That is the first perception, isn't it?
Definitely. And I know that I've talked to parents, and I've talked to their misconceptions as well. And even though we don't talk about the Bible, we do allow kids to ask questions. So they do ask me, "Oh, do you believe in God?" And when they open that door, I will absolutely answer with honesty. And my children also go to the school, and they do talk about God, and through that, I've had other kids come up to me, and then we do have those little snippets of conversations and stuff, and that always gives me a bit of hope.
That's good. Can I ask you then, how has our community support, we support you financially, how has that impacted your ability to serve effectively?
Oh gosh, honestly, I've been in I've actually worked for quite a few schools at this point now, and I've been in a lot of support groups, and I have to say this support group is an actual support group, actually the most supportive I've ever been in, and I've been in a few. I just love the fact that I can actually just come to the support groups, actually say what we're needing, and you guys actually respond and actually want to help us. Like, I know that sounds so small, but it's like, it's massive, because, and it's also a shock to my principal and deputy, the amount of help that you guys are just so willing just to give up straight away, like, especially financially, because there's a lot of stuff we couldn't do. There's just not a budget for it in the school. No, the schools can't afford these things, and it's been really amazing being able to just provide those things. And I think our last one we did was our inter-school seminar that we did, and we got 4 schools there, that got a massive cross-section of kids, and there was a lot of there was teachers' well-being. There was a well-being officer from Freeling saying to us after how amazing it was. The teachers from Hamley Bridge were saying how amazing it was. We had counselors as well. It was just positive feedback all around.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
That's really, really good. And the last question is, how can we best pray for you and the people that you care for? What needs do you have that we need to be praying along with you for?
I guess we are in challenging times at the moment, so we don't know what the PCW role will hold in the future. If there will be the PCW role, also praying for open minds and to not be shut off to hearing things. So yeah, just praying for all of those things and just, yeah, the support for us is amazing, so thank you.
Oh, that's good. Well,
Another thing to mention is our government, we're government funded. We're not paid through the department, and we're not paid through SMG. We're paid through churches who choose to put money into the pot, basically, or it's from the government grant. That government grant goes for renewal in this year, end of this year, and beginning of next year. So we'll even see if they are going to renew it, what money they're going to give. They haven't changed the grants funding since 2001. So we're getting the same amount of funding since then. So it used to be partial care work used to be about a week in a school. Now they're only a day and a half generally because of just there's no money. So yeah, if they're even going to renew the funding next year, it's a big one to pray for.
yeah, no worries. Well, thank you. I think, yeah, you can go. Yeah, I was going to ask you to. But I just wanted to say, Glenda and myself and Velda and Jeff. Is there anyone else I'm missing in the group? That's it. We meet once a term, and it's really, really lovely to listen and talk with the girls and give them the opportunity to share with us what they've been doing and what they need. It's a real privilege. So I'd like to say a huge thank you to the Lutheran Church members for financially supporting the girls, but a massive thank you to both of you for answering the call to become pastoral care workers, because unfortunately kids these days need so much help that they're not getting at home necessarily. So it's really wonderful to have people like this that can work on our behalf in the schools. So yeah, Jeff, you could go up here if that'd be lovely. Thanks.
Just a brief comment. The times we meet together for me is quite fascinating compared to, as Astrid said, other support groups, because almost all of our conversation is, how are you going? That's the question we start with, and it's often the question we finish with. And we meet down at the cafe, and it's normally for an hour and a half, but it's often 2.5 and longer. So, but let's pray. Gracious Father, we thank you that you give us an opportunity to touch the lives of so many children in our community who otherwise would not know or hear about you or your love. We thank you for Carly and Astrid. We pray for them because there are times when they are under a lot of pressure trying to deal with kids who are stressed and lonely and hurting. Please give them a full measure of your Spirit that they may speak wisely and show the light. See there.
And you're get stuff away.
It's simply the role of the core committee in preparing for that. They have to do all the work that we expect them to do, right? What this, in the event that we are not successful in receiving the graduate, then that process is delayed by 1 month. It's a delay of 1 month. That's all it means. So our call process. This is our call process for the moment.